Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
A local man is warning others in the valley to keep a close eye on their cars, specifically their license plates. He reached out to our whistleblower hotline after he says one of his plates was stolen off his car in broad daylight in downtown Fargo yesterday. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley talked with a man who wants you to be on the lookout for these crooks.
A quick lunch break in downtown Fargo took a weird turn for Kevin Pavlik when he made his way back to his car.
And I said, well, that looks a lot like my car, but I kept walking. And then finally I said, well, this is too far. So I turned back around and took another look at it, and it's like, I'll be darned if that's not my car. So here's someone took 4 bolts off the front of my car and took my original license plate, and then over the top of it put a Gateway of Fargo, sort of a dealer cover, and left.
The plate pirate took the front plate but left the back one behind, making Pavlik scratch his head as to why.
The whole thing about it honestly is really strange because A, it happened in broad daylight. B, if you're going to steal a license plate, why take the time to put a decal over it, like, you know, to unscrew it, to take the, if he just wanted the license plate, he could have just taken it.
Pavlik says he walked down the block and made a report with police, and they told him he'd have to buy new plates. And when he showed up to the DMV this morning, he said the workers weren't surprised to hear his story.
She said, it's funny, you're about the 4th or 5th person this week that has come in asking for new plates, saying that theirs have been stolen. It kind of makes you think, it's like, well, how often do you really check your license plate?
Police say when plates are taken, they're usually later put onto a stolen vehicle. They suggest buying anti-theft screws like these, making it harder to run off with your license plates. You can find them on Amazon.com or at Walmart.
But now I'll be a little bit more mindful if I see someone like poking around my license plate, knowing that, hey, there's someone actually out there that may want to steal my license plate off my car.
In Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
And here's some good news for him. A short time ago, he called us saying police found his license plate today in an alleyway downtown on a stolen vehicle. There's no word yet on whether anyone was arrested. And remember, you can reach out to our whistleblower hotline if you need help with a serious issue in your community. Call 237-6576 and leave your tip. We'll do our best to get to the bottom of it. Officials have released the name of the woman found dead in a lake near Bemidji. Rescue crews pulled 32-year-old Amber Jackson from Lake Bemidji yesterday afternoon after getting a call about a body in the water near the Tourist Information Center in Bemidji. Stick with Valley News Live as we continue to follow this story. A little cool today. Some of us grabbed a light jacket on our way out the door. Justin, anything we should worry about tonight?
No, it looks like it's going to be a calm night tonight. Good evening, everybody. And temperatures are going to once again be pretty cool out there. Here's a look at the current temperatures as of now. Up north, where they actually saw more sunshine, we're into the lower to mid 70s out towards, say, the Roseau, the Thief River Falls, and the Grand Forks area. Everybody else into the upper 60s and lower 70s right now. We actually should be into the lower 80s this time of year, so that is about 10 degrees below average. Now we have that northerly or northwesterly wind at 15 to sometimes 25 miles per hour, pumping in the cool and dry air. So the decreasing cloud trend does continue. We are seeing more sunshine into the Devil's Lake Basin, Northern Valley, and into northwestern Minnesota. Fargo actually seeing pretty clear skies as of right now, with more clouds off to the south. Now that trend will continue, most of us turning mostly clear this evening as temperatures fall through the 60s in the evening and through the 50s into the overnight hours. We will see more cloud cover with a few more chances of some showers over the next couple of days, and we'll tell you where temperatures go from here. That's coming up later in the newscast.
Okay, thanks, Justin. About 70 more jobs are coming to Fargo, along with longer drop-off hours for UPS shipping customers. Hector International Airport and UPS announced a twice-daily jet service between Fargo and UPS headquarters in Kentucky. This move is expected to extend possible shipping hours. UPS is expected to lease part of a hangar at the East Terminal building for offices and storage. The jet service is expected to start November 15th of this year. The Jamestown Airport will be making some safety improvements thanks to a federal grant. The U.S. Department of Transportation is funding the project. The Jamestown Regional Airport is getting more than $1 million to renovate the runway and improve safety, and over $2 million is going to the Mandan Municipal Airport to install a fence around its perimeter. Authorities could decide as early as next week whether to file charges in an incident on a central North Dakota lake that killed a 10-year-old girl. Haley Sunsback died from injuries suffered from a collision that happened when she and another girl were on an inner tube being pulled by a boat on Strawberry Lake in June. The McLean County State's Attorney says that nearly all reports on the incident have been completed, including an on-the-water reconstruction. He says a decision on charges is, quote, imminent. The other girl was hospitalized in critical condition but survived. Authorities say the girl's inner tube was struck by an uncontrolled jet ski whose operator had been thrown from the watercraft a short time earlier. U.S. Secretary of the Interior Ryan Zinke honored 4 Indian Country law enforcement officers in downtown Fargo today. The ceremony started with some traditional tribal music. The 4 were honored for their roles in administering Narcan to people who were overdosing on drugs. After the award ceremony, Zinke held a discussion on ways to combat the opioid crisis, saying tribal communities have asked for help from federal law enforcement. A bill draft went before North Dakota's Interim Health Committee today, proposing to redefine brain injury. The Century Code states that damage to the brain caused by stroke or aneurysm is not considered brain injury, and that can limit the help that people in these situations receive. Changing the definition will allow those health issues to be included.
Maybe it's minor, maybe it's major, and depending on how that brain injury happened, it shouldn't matter. You've got a brain injury, you've got a brain injury. If you had a stroke, a car accident, sports accident, aneurysm, there's something wrong with your brain and you need assistance putting your life back together.
The bill draft is being put forward by the Brain Injury Network and the American Heart Association. The company that built the Dakota Access oil pipeline says its ownership of agriculture land in North Dakota does not violate state law and that the law is unconstitutional anyway. Dakota Access attorneys want a judge to dismiss a complaint North Dakota Attorney General Wayne Stenjum filed on July 3rd. They also want Stenjum prevented from enforcing state law that bars companies from owning farmland. Dakota Access bought the ranch land in 2016 in an area where thousands of pipeline opponents gathered to protest in order to protect workers and help law enforcement. But a deal with the state allowing the purchase expired and Stenjum sued. Dakota Access argues the land is leased for farming. The company did not break the law with the purchase and that the law violates several clauses of the U.S. Constitution. Later on Valley News Live at 6, a reminder for drivers about staying safe when heading to South Dakota for the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. And when Minnesotans can expect to start paying more when shopping online.